Hey Johnny, so this is Abris. You see them back in the show, but now you guys are face to face.
Nice to meet you. It's so nice to meet the in-laws. I mean, co-stars. Co-stars.
Oh, so, Avarice got to you again?
Yeah, I guess they like me blonde for some reason.
Oh, and a Kenny Omega lame-ass porn stash?
Hey, this was actually my idea.
Oh my god, the camera's on,
Camera's on.
Hey guys, you are watching the Video Game Masters.
This is Mark Rodriguez.
This is Johnny Rodriguez.
And this is the Fish Hunter. What game are we talking about today?
This is going to be epic, because today we're going to be talking about one of the most long-awaited sequels to our favorite series of all time. In fact, this is so awesome, I had to wait till Johnny was here to review it side by side, because yes, today we're talking about Streets of Rage 4!
Streets of Rage 4? Count me in.
Did you bring her along, Johnny?
Don't look at me.
Hey, I helped you guys review the original Streets of Rage games. It's only natural I help you review the new one.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Wait, this is still our show, right?
Well, everyone here is a video game master. Let's do it!
Streets of Rage 4 was released April 2020 for the PS4, the Switch, the Xbox One, and PC gaming. The story takes place 10 years after Streets of Rage 3, even though Mr. X is long dead. Now his kids, Mr. and Miss Y, are taking over the city. Blaze Fielding calls her buddies up to help her stop them.
The game lets you choose between Axel Stone and Blaze Fielding, the Streets of Rage classics, but also Cherry Hunter, the daughter of Adam Hunter, and Floyd Araya, a new character with cybernetic arms thanks to Dr. Zahn. You also get to eventually unlock Adam Hunter himself. So yes, after being kidnapped in Part 2 and being just a cameo cutscene character in Part 3, Adam Hunter is finally back to kick some ass in Part 4.
One of the cool parts of the game is that you can unlock the older versions of the characters from the older games. You can use the 16-bit versions of Axel, Blaze, Adam, and everybody else from Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. If you wanted to, you can actually make a team of 4 Axels, one from each game. That's a lot of characters.
That's right, one of the coolest things here is that this game actually allows up to 4 players locally, and well, we couldn't find a 4th player for this scene, but you get the point. You can have 4 players, and you can also have up to 2 players online. The characters have all kinds of special moves similar to the previous games, including the dramatic special screen building super moves you can only do when you find the stars. However, the bosses in the game have their own kind of dramatic super moves as well, so be careful. The game tosses 12 stages at you, and you can either play them in story mode or select individual stages to replay at different difficulties to get enough points to unlock the 16-bit characters. Stage 1 is the streets, where you fight it out in the classic Streets of Rage style. There's some parts where you have to avoid exposed wires to avoid getting zapped. The boss here is Diva, who can somehow channel electricity through her pet snake.
Stage 2 is the police precinct, where you bust out of jail and fight against both the police and the bad guys. It's interesting because the cops and the thugs fight each other as well, so they sometimes take each other out for you. The boss of this stage is the commissioner, and he's got a brutal dashing punch.
Stage 3 is the cargo ship, where you have to watch out for this annoying lightning, slight epilepsy warning there, and for exploding barrels and the return of Big Bens from the older games. The boss here is Nora, who seems to have 2 Galcias under her control. Stage 4 is the old pier, where you have to watch out for large holes in the wooden plank flooring, so be careful not to fall in there, guys. The boss here is your first encounter with Estelle Aguirre, a female police officer badass. She can even call for backup, just like the crew used to do in Streets of Rage 1. Stage 5 takes you underground where you have to avoid these large pools of acid. You can also check out a bar and face these female bikers, possibly the most annoying normal enemies in the game. The boss here is Barbone, who you might remember was the bartender from Streets of Rage 2. I mean, you keep thrashing his bars, he's gonna keep coming after you, man. Stage 6 is Chinatown, where you fight from everywhere from soup kitchens to this cool ring of fire. The boss is Shiva, who has some insight on what's going on with the White Twins. Watch out for his shadow clones.
Stage 7 is the Sky Train. It's kind of a short stage. You mostly have to avoid these signs as you fight bad guys on top of a moving train. The boss here is Estelle, looking for the rematch, but this time she calls on the commissioner for backup. Yup, it's a double boss fight.
Stage 8 is the art gallery, where you face these girls that throw vials of chemicals that have acid and fire and electricity for some reason. And, is that a giant butt plug in the background for some reason?
A butt plug? What?
Why is there a giant butt plug in the background?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's there, it's in the background, it's there, and it's based on a real life statue in Paris, okay?
And that's your history lesson for today, folks.
Anyways, the bosses here are Bayo and Rhea, named after Beyonce and Rihanna. Stage 9 is the White Tower, where you find out that your old friend Max has been captured and brainwashed by the White Twins. Stage 10 is To the Concert, where you have to stop the White Twins from playing their brainwashing music to a public at large. The boss here is DJ K Washi, who I assume is also brainwashed by the twins. Stage 11 is an airplane where you manage to sneak onto Mr. Y's plane before you can get away. You finally get a chance to duke it out with Mr. Y himself, but it's not over yet. Stage 12 is Y Island, where you finally take the fight to the twins. You face long, grueling stages with the most annoying enemies of the lot until you face Miss Y and her deadly sword attacks. However, it's still far from over. The final battle will have you go up against both of the White Twins at the same time, Mr. Y with his gun and bazooka, and Mrs. Y with her deadly sword. To make it worse, one of them will pilot a giant robot while the other continues to get in your way. Take them both down to beat the game.
You also have secret stages where you return to the 16-bit stages of the classic games and fight old bosses. On certain stages, if you're able to grab a taser and tase one of the arcade machines, you get warped back to these stages. You can only use one life to clear the stage. If you die, you get sent back to the regular game.
Over a year later, in July 2021, they released DLC called Mr. X Nightmare. Dr. Zand created a virtual reality program fresh from Mr. X's brain, and the heroes can practice in all sorts of different scenarios with new enemies and new weapons.
Not only that, but they added 3 more characters. Estelle and the Streets of Rage 4 versions of Max and Shiva are now selectable as well, and you can use them in the main game too. But the Streets of Rage 3 version of Rue has been added as well.
Alright guys, so now it's time for our thoughts on the game, and what can I say, it's been a long time coming, and there's been like, I guess several attempts here and there to make a Streets of Rage 4, it never really worked out with all the other consoles like the Saturn, the Dreamcast, whatever. And when we first saw the trailer, people were kind of complaining at first that what is this shit? It looks like flash animation, or it looks like it could be like a mobile phone game and all that shit. So we were really, we were kind of optimistic, but we still had doubts. But that game finally came out. Oh shit, that game is super worth it. It's super epic. It's super awesome. A lot of fun. Lots of cool new characters. You can unlock the 16-bit versions. You got all these people. The stages are very imaginative. I like the surprise that Estelle is actually using the police car against you after you guys have been using it, in the earlier games. And also I like the, Mr. Y laughing. That reminds you of good old dad, right? And stuff like that. And yeah, the final boss part. Oh shit, the final boss battle. You know what I mean? And also for more replay value, even though it took a year for the DLC to come out, I think the Mr. X Nightmare DLC is very helpful. It's very cool. You kind of go back. You got random missions. You fight new enemies. You get new weapons. You fight like other bosses from the 16-bit games that you don't encounter in the main game. And you have all these characters, so it's pretty awesome. And yeah, if you're a fan of Streets of Rage, the originals, or you want like a fast-paced beat 'em up, definitely check out Streets of Rage 4. It's awesome.
Hey, so what do I think about Streets of Rage 4? I think this game is really awesome, and it's a really good sequel from Streets of Rage 3. It's like about time they make Streets of Rage 4. That just proves that you can still do beat 'em ups in modern times. You know, there's no excuse that we can't do beat 'em ups. Well, we're not down with that anymore. You know, but no, they can still do beat 'em ups. This game proves it. I like all the characters. The characters are very diverse. They're very different. They all have their quirks. They have their different personalities, fighting style. I like it that it's still like a continuation because, Cherry is still like the daughter of Adam, right? And, Axel's older and he's more like buffed or whatever. And he has like facial hair. So it's good to see that these characters keep going and it's just not like some sort of a weird remake game because, people... They could have also went that route, But yeah, the game's pretty good. The combos are really good. I like how when you do all the attacks, it juggles, so you could really team up on the enemies and really cause major damage. And I like all the super moves. I like how they have the original super moves plus the new one that you can only do when you have a star and it's more cinematic and it takes more damage. And it's pretty awesome. I mean, just play the game, even if you don't. Follow the original Streets of Rage game. Just play it. It's really good.
The only minor nitpick about the game, I kind of don't like the lightning effect in one of the stages. I don't know. It's kind of weird. They should have maybe given a epilepsy warning or something, or maybe not make it so bright. Like, I get the point is that it's supposed to be bright so that you're blinded for a moment so the enemies can, of course, beat you up while you can't see. But, like, the color itself, like, I wish it wasn't so bright. For us, it's okay. And thankfully, it's a very, like, short part of the stage. But, like, wow, guys, like, tone it down.
They should at least put a disclaimer, because, yeah, you don't want to get a seizure just by playing the game.
Yeah, especially if you're, like, maybe you don't play that good, you're stuck in that part for a while, Like, yeah, the faster we get past that part, the better. It's kind of like Streets of Rage 2, that was that weird level with the scrolling that makes you kind of dizzy.
I actually did like that.
Yeah, exactly. And we're not showing footage of that because we're not going to show, we're not going to do that for you guys. But, yeah, that's my only complaint. They could have done something with that.
This is a pretty fun game, and I like seeing how Axel, Blaze, and Shiva have changed after all these years. It's also good to finally have Adam back, since you could only use him in Streets of Rage 1. I think the only disappointment was the game not adding a grown-up version of Skate. That would have been nice.
I think the game looks amazing, and it's as fun to play as the original. The rocking music is still here, and now you can play up to 4 players locally. The graphics are flashy and colorful, and the special moves look great. After so many years, we were so worried about how a sequel to Streets of Rage would turn out, but we're glad it turned out even better than expected.
And that wraps up this episode of Video Game Masters. This is Mark Rodriguez.
This is Johnny Rodriguez.
And this is Angel, snooping as usual. Thanks for watching.
And this is The Fish Hunter. See you next time, guys.
This is still our show, right?